Heavily regretting not getting nitrogen. Hmm? Please tell me that planet has... Please tell me that... Yes! Okay, holy shit! How much is this? Do no classic Astroneer juggle. I like how the astronium cans are placed right next to the flame. Alright guys, I'm gonna play a game of I'm gonna land the exact opposite spot where I should be landing. Starting host, Ray Salmon. Stop! How much argon we got? I'll take home a whole ass can. Oh, well. Womp womp for me. I didn't even get the wind. And never mind, it's cooking again. Nice taking a leave. Not gonna lie, I want to get them 3 extra canisters. I'm gonna go look around a bit. Oh wait, there's Novus. Look at that. There's where my home is. Can I see my platform? I can see my platform. Look at that. Oh, I can see the giant chunk I've taken out of that donut. That's so cool. Hello, viewer. Oh, man. Yay, wind power. Oh my gosh, we're so close. Need 2 more cans. I was like, what is that? That's one of those, like, plants you can get tapped. Oh, no way. There's a wind turbine just chilling out here. Awesome. Oh, wow. This is, like, actual shit. Like, I don't even have a power plant. I don't have a power button on there. Another baby little wind turbine. Ooh, a blade? Oh, a blade! Cool, I found a blade. A very badly dented up, destroyed wind turbine blade. And there's the big old bad dented wind turbine itself. Oh shit, there's a explosion thing right there. Donk. Donk. By the way, the vertical axis wind turbines like this are actually less efficient than their horizontal axis counterparts. It kind of makes me sad that we only have one horizontal in like whopping 3 verticals. The verticals are not as efficient. Horizontals are actually far better than vertical wind turbines. Because the problem about the horizontal axis is that you have drag right here, whereas this, like, you have drag at the lower part of a wind turbine, but then at the top where there's no drag, because, you know, the wind's hitting all these rocks and shit. So the wind turbine, like the horizontal axis like these, will they'll actually get the wind that's coming from up here, which has a lot more velocity and potential than the wind at the bottom. Again, because the wind at the bottom has drag and shit. Not like drag and shit like drag and poop, but like, you know, you get the point. That's not fully intact. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's got the power indicators, but it's garbage. It's complete trash, but it houses a wind turbine on it. Again, not my favorite thing. Huh? Again, yeah, this is complete shit. Just put this on here. Give it a bit more oomph. This is the South Pole. Actually, no, that's not. Yeah, we're nowhere near the South Pole. I'm stupid. Ooh, you see what I see. I didn't even see that. Good thing it wasn't a bad plan. Yeah. I've seen, like, what... Apparently I've heard about some, like, genocide that's happening in, like... What do you call it? Sudan. Like, more people died in Sudan within, like, a couple, like, of days, like a week, than everybody who's died from Gaza. Which doesn't negate the complete humanitarian shit show in Gaza. Oh, wait. Yeah, I feel bad for Palestine. Screw Israel, I'll say that. So if you guys are wondering, oh, which side is he on? Yeah, I'm with the side that's, you know, getting shot up for getting food. I hate how that's a controversial opinion. And again, I'm sorry. I'm definitely gonna have to avoid the no politics thing, because honestly, I shouldn't stay silent. I just really think it's a stupid thing in this society where we're... And again, I'm sorry if I keep adding again. Right. I hate how it's controversial to side with a group of people who's literally getting shot, you know, to get food. Like, again, I want to state my very controversial opinion right here, so please don't cancel me. I think everybody should get food. I'm almost on the you know, belief that, you know, we shouldn't work for food. Like, you should work to get anything else. You should get food and a shelter. But I've heard about, you know, again, I've heard about the Sudan genocide. It's horrifying. There was one image where people said that there was like a whole shit ton of bodies that was fake and it was just a watering hole. But there were actual images in, like, oh, was it El Fasher? Where there are people literally, like, stacked. That sucks. Can you imagine not... I can't imagine how shitty that has to be. You don't... Many of these people don't care about this war. They just want to live their lives. And then they just get shot and just murdered for no reason. Again, it still amazes me how in 2025 we have some of the most advanced technology in history, yet we still have to resort to genocide. You know, again, this is what I really, really despise, is that, like, you could, like, again, you know what, I want to say sorry if I offend people, but I'm not going to say sorry if I offend... Oh, by the way, they made it where apparently the donut renders... Okay, try not to cancel me. I think the genocide in Gaza is bad. I think Israel is bad. And you know what's, I want to say funny, but it's not. Do you know what actually sickens me to my stomach? Is the fact that that would get, like, right there, what I just said, there'd be people offended by that. There'd be people offended by the fact I said, hey, Israel's not the good guy here. And before you guys say, oh, and somebody, and I'd say that, if I said that, and someone was in the chat, some people would be like, oh, you're just from X political party. Okay, first of all, if you say that, right, if I said that, and you say, oh, you're this political party, why does it matter? Why does it matter what my politics are? What? Here's the thing, right? I think... Actually, I don't think, like... I believe, like, right, like... I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. This is 2025. We have atom smashers. We have the internet. We have everything. We have so much technology. Why are we genociding? There's a rule, right? I'm anti-war, but if we have to go to war, you leave civilians out of it. People who don't even... like, if the person, if somebody you're fighting, if the only people that should die in war, in my opinion, are the people that are prepared to do it. The soldiers, not civvies. Civvies stay out because they don't. Not all of them agree with it. Not all of them like it. So they don't need a part of it. Simple as that. That shouldn't be controversial yet. I feel like it would be. But here's the thing I'll also say about the whole Gaza situation. One, the people who are actually supporting Israel are shit. And I'm going to say this. The people who are anti-Semitic because Israel is doing this, you're part of the problem. Just because they are doing these war crimes doesn't mean you should be anti-Semitic. There's different... And I'm going to try not to be controversial here, right? There are different parts of Christianity. Some of them are more extreme. Some of them are more tame. Some of them accept people. Some of them don't. Some of them, they all have different beliefs. You have your Catholics. You have your Presbyterians. You have your, Pentecostals. Like, there's so many sects of Christianity. There's also so many sects of, the Muslim faith and the Jewish faith. There's so many different sects. Again, some extreme, some not. But I'm an agnostic person. Just because one group of a religion does something does not mean that the other people are. Which is, I think it should go without a doubt, without me saying. One thing I am so tired of seeing is everybody shitting on Muslims. Just because some Muslims are extremists doesn't mean they all are. So I don't care. You're a bastard if you think every Muslim person's going to bomb a building just because it happened in 2001. That's not all of them. There's bad people, and people need to realize that there are bad people of every religion, and there's good people of every religion. That it does not matter. I mean, look at this. Again, and when I'm saying this, by the way, this is not all people of religion. There's you got Al-Qaeda, the KKK, you got the IDF. Those are all bad parts of religion, but there's also good people. There's good, amazing, wonderful, talented people in those things. And those poor people should not have to suffer because somebody else of the faith did something bad. Like, for example, if I'm not wrong, in Columbine, one of the people who shot up Columbine was autistic. I'm an autistic man. Do you think everybody on the spectrum needs to be, investigated or looked into? No. Just because I'm autistic, it doesn't mean I'm going to go and shoot up my local school. Why? Because I'm not a piece of shit and I know common gun safety. But if you... And that is a whole can of worms of its own. That's another thing I'm pissed at of society. Is the fact that we find somebody... And this needs to go without being said. One thing that really pisses me off about society is that when a shooting happens, we don't even mourn the victims. We don't even do anything. We look at what race, gender, political ideology, or creed that person is, and we attack everything labeled. Hey, is this shooter trans? Let's shoot on trans people. Is this shooter autistic? Let's shoot on autistic people. Is this shooter Muslim? Let's shoot on Muslim people. That right there is the cycle of violence. And again, apologies for getting political, but right... The problem is, right, when somebody of an ideology, right, commits a horrible, horrendous crime, and if you lump everybody in, there's some exceptions, like a white supremacist, those guys are not good, but let's say an autistic Christian trans person shot up a school. That doesn't mean every autistic trans person is bad. That person is bad because they decided to do a horrendous, shitty crime, not because of their identity. And it's bullshit that this is what we devolve into. And it's sad that a 20-year-old kid in his mom's basement has more morals than most people in the political field. But another thing I really hate about society, I'm not trying to be like one of those people. I hate that. I hate everybody. Like, but one thing I despise about society is the fact that you could be like, I don't care. Listen, hear me out. You can be the most correct. You could be absolutely right. Like, you know what you're talking about. But then like, you have I was talking to myself in the car. Maybe I do talk to myself, but who cares? But I said you can have 100 scientists that literally have studied for years, decades, on their craft. They know everything. They're smart. But then you have one idiot, one person who does not know what they're talking about, one person that blatantly spreads this information. By the way, I need to split for a second. There's two types of stupid. There's the stupid where, like, okay, you don't know much, and that's not what I'm targeting. The type of stupid I don't like, again, I'm sorry if I'm sorry if I'm crass. I'm not trying to be offensive. And then there's the stupid that purposely spreads misinformation, hate, and just complete bigotry. That's the stupid I despise. That's the stupid I don't like. And that's what it comes down to. Again, that's just one thing I just I don't get. I just don't like how people have, like, completely... It feels like people just politicize just simply being nice. Like, if you're a kind person, oh... But yeah, in my opinion, if you literally immediately after a shooting occurs, and if you just harp on whatever someone was, unless they're like some sort of like freaking like extremist, like if they're extremist, that's one thing, right? Like, come on. Like, another thing I'll say, I'm very pro-firearm. I really like guns. I support the Second Amendment. However, I will say this, and I will make my stance perfectly clear. Not everybody needs a gun, and I think we should have, like, red flag laws. Like, if someone is convicted successfully of, like, domestic violence, like, if somebody hits their spouse, I think they should get their guns taken away. Because clearly that that person is a violent individual that should not have a gun. Again, I will say this. There are people that do not need guns. There are some crazy pieces of shit out there that don't need guns. And it sucks when they do something, it just spoils the look of all of us. That, like, actually, you know, use guns and actually, you know, actually, like, follow the law. Perfect. I have 1 methane. But bro, I had my dad come in and he was so, like, triggered over the fact that the newspaper was saying, like, innocent people die. He's like, oh, he's about those boat attacks. You know what's funny? If you think that our president right now cares about stopping drugs coming to the country, I'm going to let you know this. He part of the guy who, ready for this, transported 300 tons of booger sugar. Yes, you can look this up. John Orlando Menendez, previous president of Honduras. And I'm like, okay, this can't be true. I looked into it. I researched everything. And yes, he literally got busted for smuggling 300 pounds of coke into the U.S. Not 300 pounds, 300 ton. That's 600,000 pounds. Dude, that's insane. That's a lot. What the hell? Oh, whoops, I need a... A guy basically smuggled 300 tons of coke in the U.S. and then you know what we do? He's out free. Or I'm gonna bring up Ross Albright, the guy who literally had a dark web website that facilitated the trade of drugs, illegal drugs, and murder for hires, and he got pardoned as well. I bet you, and I'm gonna guarantee this. I would almost put $100 on it. I bet you most people in his, in Cheeto Boy's cult, they probably don't even know where Venezuela is. They probably don't even know what continent it's on. I will say, I did accidentally mistake where Argentina and Venezuela is. Venezuela is on the northern part of South America, and then Argentina is located roughly on the very southern portion, like southern central portion of South America. How far is South America from Tampa? Let's see. Let's go check this out. Let's say, because they say, oh, these drug boats or whatever coming from Venezuela. Oh my god, I'm starting to look at it. The logistics of a drug boat of the size that are being shot at. Like, I'm gonna be completely unbiased here. That's not looking plausible. So, okay, ready for this. Stay with me. If you were a drug boat from Venezuela, you have to go across the Caribbean, across the Gulf of Mexico. It's Gulf of Mexico. Screw you, GOA, bitches. It's not the Gulf of Mexico anymore. Well, you know what? I'll call it the Gulf of America if, the person in charge didn't like looking at underage girls dressing. But, whatever. But, you're telling me... Okay, hang with me, right? A dinghy fishing boat is gonna go, ready? They are gonna go from, ready for this? Look at this shit. From here, through the Caribbean, up to Florida. How far is that? Let's go from Coro, Venezuela, and we go to, let's say Miami. That's as the bird flies, not even going around. That's 1,400 miles. How far can one of those boats go? How far can a dinghy go before it needs a refuel? 30 miles a day! 30 miles a day. Okay, now how far was that? Let's go see that again. Miami, Florida to, what is it? Coro. Is 1,200 miles. So if you had a dinghy fishing boat, it goes 30 miles in a single day. You know what? Let's play the extreme game. A fishing boat. How far does a fishing boat go? So a fishing boat could go up to 50 miles up course. 50 miles off the coast. You're telling me, again, a dinghy can go 30 miles, 10 to 30 miles. You're telling me that these little guys are going 1,200 miles? Politics out of it. Let's break down the logistics. That's impossible. Oh, but you can just go... First of all, you need fuel. Fuel is heavy. You need a big-ass boat to carry big-ass amounts of fuel. Also, the ocean is clear. And when it's clear like that, this is the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean, which are infamous for being violent and not calm. So a dinghy fishing boat crossing the Caribbean would get instantly destroyed. You need like a barge or a large ship to do that job. I have full confidence saying that the transport of a dinghy across the Caribbean on a single fuel tank is logistically impossible. That is not possible. Does a fishing boat go before refueling? Could go 800 miles for offshore vessels. Even that, you'll get stranded. And this is a fishing vessel. I'm talking like a big boat. Like a very big boat. Can go 800 miles apparently. Smart will be 1/3 out, 1/3 back, 1/3 reserve. So a third rule. So even if they, consider they operate on the third rule, they can't go that far. They have to refuel. So you could say, oh, they go up the coast. But why would they go up the coast when you could just truck it? It's Panama. Panama sees like the. If there's anywhere you want to go for drugs, go to Panama. Panama is where all the drugs come through on land. Panama is notoriously infamous for having a lot of drug lords there. I had to go to Panama before I ever go to Venezuela. I just don't see the logistics behind that. How violent is the Caribbean? How violent is it? How violent is the Caribbean? Is significantly violent, not like. Vary significantly from a generally calm, warm waters to extremely dangerous and violent conditions during hurricane season or in specific areas where it meets the Atlantic. Because the Atlantic Ocean is known to be very violent. And the Pacific is known to be very peaceful. Peaceful Pacific. That's actually why the Pacific Ocean has its name. Because it's literally named the Peaceful Ocean. Let's see. But a record-breaking voyages have covered 300 miles. That's a record dinghy. Like a record little tiny boat can go 300 miles. And we're talking about a quadruple that distance. Are there boats that get drugs in the U.S.? Sure. I think there are. But that far away? Really? Are we really going to go for this? Also, here's what I think we should do. Like, I'm going to make this point. For anybody who's like, oh, you're just mad. You're so mad that they're doing this. And there's also some people that might say, oh, you support drugs? And I hate people that like, oh, like, hey, like, I say, hey, maybe we shouldn't bomb random boats. And people be like, oh, so you don't support drugs? You support drugs coming in the country? Yeah, I totally said I support drugs coming in the country. Take my words out of my mouth, asshole. Anyway. But, here's the thing. If these are drug traffickers, right? If these are drugs traffickers, what if they're trafficking people? What if there are human trafficking victims on those boats that we just blew up? I think, honestly, if they're so confident they're drug dealers, take them to court and try them. I don't care if it's in international waters. I believe in the Fourth Amendment. You commit a crime, you go before a judge. You don't get killed or shot up, you go before a judge. Now you probably would say, oh, do you think we should do that for like the Middle Eastern war? Like with terrorism? Like, there is no capturing them. That's a different scenario. But these people aren't even shooting back, and we're just blowing them out of the water. That ain't fair. Now, if these guys popped a couple bullets at the boat, at the ships, I'd be like, okay, fair game. Light them up. But no, these aren't. They're not doing it. Also, what happened to no new wars? Peace president, remember? Peace president. We're supposed to be peaceful. Nope. We're bombing random people. What? We've bombed Iran and Venezuela. In my opinion, if we think there's drugs in Venezuela, I think the best thing to do, and maybe I'm not like a foreign relation person, I think we should go find the person in Venezuela, sit down and say, hey, you know, we have a problem. We need to solve this. Diplomacy is stereotypical, but it should always be done before violence. We should always invest in a diplomacy. Because if we can talk things out, like us, the United States and Canada, there is a little bit of fentanyl that comes through, but the United States and Canada has worked together to actually combat it. And they're doing a very good job. They get like 99% of every bit of fentanyl that comes in that could have come through Canada is stopped because of our combined efforts. We're working peacefully, and we've succeeded. Oh, I was looking for my graphite. And by the way, you would think that a dinghy boat, like one of those like little tiny little boats, if they went so far off sea, they would be overcome with violent waters and completely destroyed. Everything would be lost. If you were transporting cargo with a dinghy, like if let's say if by the way, I'm not endorsing illegal shit. If I were like one of those guys, I was trafficking cargo, I would not choose a dinghy, dude. It's inconspicuous, yeah, but the dinghy is so easy to turn over in these violent waters. Easy. Oh, shit, I just got handed a thing. I think I need titanium alloy to make the big tanks, I think. Haven't had a diamond made in a while. There you go. I love yours. There. I think I need to go reset the lithium mining machine. A lot of lithium. It's a good resource to hoard, I'm telling you. We can actually see how far the thing I am mining is destroyed. Damn, we are like just demolishing this. Damn. I'm gonna cook, guys. I'm gonna play some Satisfactory. My